There is something that needs to be said clearly, respectfully, and truthfully. Kuji-In, as we encounter it today, is not the invention of a single person, not the property of a single religion, nor confined to any one lineage. Its history tells a different story. It's the result of movement, ideas traveling from Hinduism, refined through Taoism, formalized within Shingon Buddhism, and adapted through practices like Shikendo. Each culture didn't own it, they contributed to it. What we call Kuji-In is better understood as a living system, not a closed doctrine like language, like mathematics, like breath itself. Kuji-In evolves as it moves through human beings. And that evolution is not delusion. It's continuation. This does not mean we ignore its roots. Respect matters. Understanding context matters. And Kuji-In lineage matters. But respect doesn't require restriction, and preservation does not require ownership. In today's world, something remarkable is happening. For the first time in history, these practices are no longer confined to temples, mountains, or closed circles. They are accessible to anyone with good intention. Before language, before temples, before doctrine, there were gestures. There was breath. There was the quiet suspicion that human beings were not separate from the cosmos. What if the same forces that shape galaxies also shape your thoughts? What if ancient practitioners didn't just believe this, but trained it? Today we uncover Kuji-In, not as myth, but as a living system of human optimization, forged across centuries of cultural fusion and now validated by modern psychology and neuroscience.
Segment 1. Cosmology. The human as a fractal of the universe.
Long before Kuji-In had a name, its foundation was already forming in the great cosmological systems of Asia. In Hinduism, reality was described as Brahm, an infinite field of consciousness. In Taoism, it was the Tao, the underlying flow of existence. In Buddhism, it became the realization of emptiness and interdependence. Across these traditions, a unifying insight emerged. Human beings are not separate from reality. Human beings are a microcosm of it. This gave rise to embodied practices, not just thinking about truth, but becoming it. Mudras, hand seals, mantras, sound formulas, and breath-controlled pranayama were not symbolic. They were seen as technologies of alignment.
Segment 2. Synthesis. How Kuji-In was forged.
Kuji-In did not emerge from a single culture. It is the result of cultural and spiritual convergence across centuries. India, China, Japan, From India came mantra, mudra, and energy systems. In China, these merged with Taoist energy cultivation. In Japan, they crystallized within Qigong Buddhism. At the center of this transmission was Kukai, a monk who brought esoteric teachings from China to Japan in the 9th century. He taught a system called Sanmitsu, or the three mysteries: body, that's mudra, speech, mantra, and mind, visualization, all three. Sound familiar? This is the operating system of Kuji-In. The 9 seals. Kuji-In is structured around 9 hand seals, often associated with Rin, Pyo, To, Sha, Kai, Jin, Retsu, Zai, and Zen. These were later adapted into Japanese esoteric warrior traditions, including Shikendo and Ninjutsu. But here's the key insight. These were not magical spells. They were state induction protocols. Each seal represented a psychosociological configuration.
Segment 3, the science. What Kuji-In is actually doing.
Modern science is now catching up with what these systems encoded intuitively in us. Let's break it down. Mudras equal neural feedback loops. Hand positions influence the brain through sensory motor mapping. Research in embodied cognition shows the body doesn't just express the mind, it shapes it. Certain hand positions can increase focus, reduce anxiety, reinforce intentional states. Mantras equal cognitive pattern encoding. Repetition of sound patterns affects attention networks, default mode networks, and emotional regulation pathways. Studies on chanting, including Om, show that it reduced the activity in the fear centers, increased the parasympathetic activation. And thirdly, breath, nervous system control. Breathwork directly regulates the automatic nervous system. Slow, controlled breathing activates the vagus nerve, reduces cortisol, enhances heart-brain coherence. And then there's integration, state mastery. When combined, mudra, mantra, breath equals state-controlled system. This aligns closely with the modern frameworks known as neuroplasticity, biofeedback, performance psychology.
Segment 4, Kuji-In as a path to agency.
In neuroscience language, this is where Kuji-In becomes a system of agency. Each seal can be understood as training. Rin develops calm under pressure. Pyo trains directional focus. To, decisive action. Sha, emotional resilience. Kai, awareness of others. Jin, influence and communication. Retsu, timing and strategy. Zai, integration with environment. And Zen informs unity and non-dual awareness. This maps out almost perfectly onto emotional intelligence, executive function, social cognition, and peak performance states.
Segment 5, why this matters today.
We live in an age of fragmented attention, chronic stress, outsource thinking. Kuji-In offers something radically different, a self-contained system of internal control. No supplements required, no external validation needed, just your hands, your breath, and your awareness. The ancients did not separate science from spirituality or mind from body or humans from the cosmos. They trained the human being as a bridge between all three. Kuji-In is not about becoming mystical. It's about becoming precise. Not about escaping reality, but operating within it consciously. As always, I leave you with a poem. 9 gates carved into bone and breath. Not to escape, but to outgrow death. Hands remembered what mind forgets. A silent code in living sets. No temple needed, no mountain high. The cosmos bends when you apply. Not power taken, but power aligned. The universe trained through the mind.
If this episode changed how you think about the body, not as something mystical, not as purely mechanical, but as a responsive, electrical system truly capable of coherence, then I want to let you know where this work continues. Inside the Esoteric Everyday app, I've built the Kuji Master Course. It's not a belief system, it's not a ritual you have to perform, and it's not something you have to believe in for it to work. It's a step-by-step training in nervous system coherence, using the very tools we discussed today: Kuji-In, breath, posture, and your own attention. Each session is short. Each practice is grounded in your direct experience, and nothing is framed as supernatural, because the goal here isn't power, it's agency. If you're feeling curious, you can explore the Kuji Master Course inside the Esoteric Everyday app. There's no pressure, there's no hype. It's just a place to practice what we talk about here, quietly, consistently, and completely at your own pace.
If you like this video, please subscribe, share, and give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. See you next time.